after and just didn't want to take the grind anymore.
For the last 4 years or so, I've been in this cycle of injury, pain, rehab, injury, pain, rehab. And it's been unceasing and unrelenting, both in season, and off season. And I felt stuck in it, and the only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away. I've been stuck in this process. I haven't been able to live the life I want to live because of how I feel. I know that I am unable to pour my heart and soul into this position, which would not only sell myself short, but the team in the end as well. But Mom, Dad, Mayor, and Liad, Uncle Will, all my friends, thank you. And my wife, Nicole, thank you. I love you. And I guess in a philosophical sense, I want to thank football for so many wonderful moments in my life and the pressure, circumstances, environment that pushed me to grow, learn, change in so many meaningful ways. It's the greatest team sport in the world.
Understandably emotional was Luck last night. Our Adam Schefter broke the story, and he joins us this morning on SportsCenter. Adam, what more can you tell us about what went into this shocking decision for Luck?
Well, Matt, the interesting thing is that these conversations were going on within the Colts organization throughout the week. And on Friday, they had reached the decision to have Andrew Luck retire. And there was a question amongst the front office of the organization, ownership of the organization, about whether to have the press conference of Andrew Luck retiring on Friday afternoon or this afternoon at 3 Eastern. The Colts opted for 3 Eastern on Sunday afternoon. But what happened was Andrew Luck told some people like Jacoby Brissett, the quarterback there in Indianapolis, he shared it with a select few people. And so there were people within the Colts organization who on Friday knew that this was happening, and there were people in the Colts organization that knew that these discussions were going on all week. And then, of course, the news broke on Saturday. It created a surreal scene in Indianapolis where Andrew Luck is standing on the sideline, not realizing initially that the news of his retirement is out there in the world, that the city of Indianapolis is in shock. There was a TV station, Wish TV in Indianapolis, that went live 90 straight minutes, commercial-free, uninterrupted, discussing Luck walking away from the game as the Colts are playing their preseason game. It created a surreal scene that after the game, Andrew Luck stepped to the podium, delivered the comments that many people thought would be coming at 3 this afternoon, that the Colts organization had a choice for. It opted for Sunday afternoon, but when that many people on Friday afternoon know, it's only a matter of time before word eventually leaks out, and it did.
Look, I know all of us who work this wonky schedule in the morning, we hear of this. We're like, what is going on? You've been covering this league for years. Where were you when you got the news, and what was your reaction?
Well, again, there have been some calls, and I happened to be when the final confirmation came at my mother-in-law's 75th surprise birthday dinner. And we were somewhere between the bruschetta and the penne alla vodka when the call came in, Matt. And the word came that Andrew Luck was retiring. And again, as soon as the news was filed to ESPN, my phone blew up, and there were 30 text messages from people in front offices across the league, coaching staffs, that basically didn't believe it, saying, is this real? That was the common text that came into my phone, literally as I'm on the phone with our news desk and trying to do ESPN radio. I kept getting texts, is this real? That can't be. Really? And nobody wanted to believe it because it's so hard to believe that a player so good, so thoughtful, so incredible can walk away from the game at the age of 29, a month before he turns 30. In the prime of his career, you heard Jim Irsay, the Colts owner, say last night that Andrew Luck is walking away from $500 million in NFL contracts, $500 million. But that was the gravity of this decision. And as another person in the NFL said, the entire landscape of the AFC got changed with one decision last night.
Yeah, I would imagine for a man who's broken hundreds, if not thousands of stories in your cell phone, that's the first time you've ever had people questioning whether or not this story was true. Adam Schefter this morning after the shocking news in the NFL that Andrew Luck has retired. Adam, thank you.
Ryan Clark spent 13 seasons in the league, so you certainly understand some of the things that Andrew Luck was speaking about. But what was your reaction when you found out this was happening?
Well, I was standing there and I was about to tape at 9:30 for the 11 o'clock. I was excited to get out of here and go to the hotel. And I get it in my ear, we're scrapping everything, go to screening. First off, I never go to screening. I don't work there, I don't
For
do
those at
anything
ESPN,
there.
that's where they cut the highlights.
Yeah, I don't, and so when they told me that, I was like, oh, come on, no way. And the more you hear it in your ear and you start checking your phone, obviously, because that's where we all live, and you see that Shefty broke it, so I was like, oh, this could be real. And so when you think about what it takes to play this game and when you actually have to decide to retire, I did it after 13 years and my body couldn't take it anymore. And the reason was that the pain of trying to get to Sunday, the things you had to go through to get to the game day, it wasn't worth the reward. It wasn't, you never got the joy of playing the game or the satisfaction of playing the game because it was just so difficult to get there. And it seemed that Andrew Luck got there a little bit earlier than we all expected.
This retirement comes last year. I think people see it coming, but he's coming off comeback player of the year. There were so many expectations. Colts fans understandably upset, but this was a sad part of what happened yesterday, an unintended consequence as we take a look. Andrew Luck was sidelined. This news, again, as Shefty said, was not supposed to break until today. But people are looking and they're figuring it out. And as you can see, the reaction's not good. They're like, wait, is this actually, is he, and then this man takes his jersey off. He's done. People are no longer watching the game. This is the part that has some people going, come on, y'all.
No, it's
I'd be lying if I didn't say I heard the reaction. Yeah, it hurt. I'll be honest, Chap. It hurt.
There he is. Andrew Luck is booed by the fans as they find out in the stadium that he is going to walk away from the team.
Look, Indiana Colts fans tend to be a wholesome group of fans that support their team.
Wholesome.
What was your reaction to that reaction to the news?
I hated it. I hate it. I think it's disgusting, and you don't understand what people go through to play this game and what this decision is. Andrew Luck had to wear a mask. I agree with Elle. If this happens last year while he can't play, then you say, okay, maybe this was expected. But to know that he's dealing with this day in and day out, week in and week out, and he's still going out to play, continuing to try to get ready to play for this team, you understand what he was going through. And to be handled this way when you dealt with lacerated kidneys, concussions, shoulder injuries, and the things that Andrew Luck went through to play this game, it's tough to see him have to deal with that. And I think that was the unfortunate consequence of the news breaking when it did, or when other coaches deciding not to do it on Friday and do it on Sunday instead.
And may I remind you, Andrew Luck was the quarterback that bridged the gap after Peyton Manning, an all-time great, left the franchise. It could have debilitated a franchise, and he just kept it at an all-pro level. Great perspective this morning. As you would imagine, there was reaction from all over the NFL. That included Richard Sherman, who played with him at Stanford. This is a very rough game. Most people who have not played at this level will never understand what we are doing to our bodies. And then Torrey Smith, any athlete in any sport that has had a major injury, understands exactly where Andrew Luck is mentally. Leonard Fournette weighed in just before that. So reaction from all around the league. You see this one, Eric Ebron. Andrew Luck will be somebody I tell my kids about, the person and the player. Respect Andrew.